Yeah, hello everybody, what is going on? It's Snack here, and today we return with our first episode of the Quebec Nordiques franchise mode. This has been pretty long awaited, the return of the YouTube channel and of franchise mode, which I thoroughly enjoy, and I'm glad I can be bringing it to you once again. So, this time around we're going with the Quebec Nordiques, an expansion franchise, with our AHL team, the Saint Jerome Huskies. We play the center Videotron, and yeah, I'm really excited to get this going. So we already have a custom AHL team, and we are going to be playing in the Atlantic Division, with Detroit going over to the Central. As far as the settings go, we're going to turn off player morale, fog of war, owner mode, and head coach edit line. So the only two things on are salary cap and CPU trading. And then we can get into the settings here real quick. So we are quickly going to turn the generated prospect quality up, because typically on medium there's only about 5 elites every single year at the top of the draft, which I feel like there should be at least a little bit better near the top end. And then I also want to go down here. Oh, maybe it's not in this menu actually, my bad. I do want to change the difficulty higher. So yeah, we go to quick settings here. We're going to leave injuries on. We're going to turn the sliders down just so it's not too bad. So here we go. So hard trade difficulty. And that is just about it. I do want to turn on like arcade mode because it's more fun to watch in the sim for sure. Alrighty, so go to gameplay sliders now. And we can quickly turn down the injury occurrence, which is very nice. Alrighty there. So I'm very excited to get this franchise mode underway. I spent quite a while on the team and on the intro, obviously. I hope you guys enjoyed that. And without further ado, let's get into this. And as far as Gary Bettman, he's not too happy that the Quebec Nordiques did get this expansion franchise. Obviously, they've been almost trying to keep a team out of Quebec for the longest time. So the top player available from each team will not be available to us. Good news though, we do move up in the draft lottery from 3 to 2. So an awesome thing there. And Nashville moves from 12 to 1 to secure the #1 spot. Crazy. Alrighty, so begin our expansion draft. So the best player on each team cannot be selected because Bettman is none too happy about us. So Josh Manson looks like a pretty good pick. That being said, Gooley and Larson are two prime candidates. Young players, but I'm kind of leaning towards Manson just because he's already an established player. He's a defenseman, might work well with some of the other players we draft if we get offensive guys. Good for chemistry for sure. In net, they got Ryan Miller and Stolar, so nothing to write home about. I think I'm leaning towards Manson here. I don't know if Gooley or Larson will grow above an 84, and I think he's a really good player to have off the bat. Now to Arizona. Goligoski, I assume it's Demir's off the board just because he's the... oh, never mind. It's Ranta. Ranta's actually being protected. So they do have Aiden Hill here, who might be a good pick. He's a medium starter, and I think that would be a really good add. They also do have Capobianco, though, who's a very good defenseman, good AHL guy. I assume he'd fit in there. I think we're going to go with Aiden Hill, but if we need another defenseman, we can obviously make a change. Now to the Boston Bruins. So Taylor Hall is going to be protected, but that does mean David Krejci's on the board, but I mean, he's a bit old and doesn't have any years on his contract, so it doesn't make a lot of sense for us to pick him up. Andres Kasha looks like a pretty good pick. As far as forwards go, there's not too many, so that might be a very good option for us. Carlo also looks pretty good, but I think we're going to go with the forward here. Now to Buffalo, the Sabres. Jake McCabe is going to be off the board, which means we are kind of just picking from the bottom of the barrel here. Zemgus Girgensons, not really that interested. Might be a good depth player for us, but not really at that price tag. So I think we're going to go and pick Tokarski as an AHL goalie, just so we have someone there. Headed to Calgary now. They do have Mangiapane unprotected, but at the same time, he's only a top 9 forward in this game, which is really weird because he's a very good player in real life. I'm looking at Kylington. He's an offensive defenseman. That's very good. Fits very well. I don't think they have any notable goalies. Parsons okay, but yeah, we're going to go with Kylington here, I believe. Already on to Carolina now, and Dougie Hamilton unfortunately off the board. That would be a great pickup, even if we had to UFA sign him. I'm not sure exactly who we're going to take here. Brady Shea might not be a bad option, but I mean, he's nothing to write home about on that contract. They do have a couple depth forwards here like McGinn and Paquette, and they don't really... Oh, well, I guess they do have some decent goaltending, but they're both UFAs, and I'm not sure I want to take a gamble on that I'd have to overpay or something like that. I feel like I could get one in free agency if I need one. Jake Gardner might be the play here. He's got 3 years left, which would be 2 years, and $4 million for an 83. That's not bad where we are. All right, now in Chicago, I assume it is... So it's going to be Murphy based on the age. So we got Sean DeHaan available. Not that they're very good for their salary. Do they have any prospects here? Eshdell is not the worst, but he's just a bit old. I think Adam Gaudette's going to be the play here. He's very young, only 23 years old, and 80 overall. I think that's super solid. All right, so on the Avs, it's going to be Devon Toews that's protected just because, again, the age, and he's got a way better potential. It wouldn't make any sense for them to protect anyone else. They do have Dubnyk in the cage. Warner might not be a bad selection. Even Saad might not be the worst, but I guess he's a UFA, so it doesn't make a lot of sense. JT Compher's a bit rich for what he is. So I think we're going to go with Werner here as a AHL guy. All right, on to Columbus now. And they got Cam Atkinson, who's going to be off the board, so we're looking at mostly prospects here. Stenlund might not be a bad option. He's a two-way forward. He might fit well into the bottom six. Grigorenko might be okay as well, though. He's got some good offensive stats. His defense, not so much, so he'd probably have to fit into the top six somewhere. Not sure we have room for him, and he's already 26. I think we're going to go with Stenlund just because he's a safer option. On to Dallas now. Sami Vatanen, 83 overall, but I believe he's... Oh, actually, no. Khudobin's going to be the one protected, so Vatanen is available. He's a UFA, but that might be a good investment. Oh, Dickinson, though. Never mind. I think we're definitely going after Jason Dickinson here. He's 80 overall, and he's an RFA, I believe, so we'll have rights to him, so that works out well. On the Red Wings, I believe it's going to be Ryan? No. Okay, so it's Bernier that's protected, which is fine. We don't really need a goalie from these guys. Stetcher might be a good option, though Ernie actually looks pretty decent as well. Ernie's a power forward, too, so that fits in well with chemistry, so I think we're going to take Ernie here. Onto the Oilers, and already my eyes are jumping out at Ethan Bear. What a great player that would be to pick up. They got two goalies. Obviously, Barry's protected, so we're going to take Ethan Bear with this pick. I think he's going to fit really well into that top four. Now the Panthers, so it's going to be Duclair that's protected, but that means Montour is available. Not that we're necessarily going to go after him. They do have Drieger as well, who wouldn't be a bad pick. He's a starter goalie, but he's already 26, so I'm not sure he helps as much, especially with Aiden Hill already. Nidivar might not be a bad pick, just because of his age, and he's a pretty solid defenseman, though Walmark also looks all right. They got a few good prospects here. Sorella actually isn't bad at all either. 77 overall, he could definitely grow into a top player. I'm not sure on this one, honestly. Nudivara is okay. Noah Juleson might be good for the AHL. Obviously, we're going to have somebody down there, and I think he would fit well in the top pairing, and also it definitely could become an NHL player in the future. I think we're going to go with him here. The Los Angeles Kings. So it looks like Iafallo. No, it's going to be Quick that's actually taken. Iafallo is already on a 4-year, $4 million extension, though, and he's only 81 overall, so I'm not sure that's the best option for us. They don't really have a lot of other valuable pieces on this team from what I'm seeing. You could always go Brendan Lemieux. He's a power forward. I think he fits well in the scheme, so I think that's what we're going to do. On to the Minnesota Wild. So Jared Spurgeon is the one that's going to be protected here. Not that we were really interested in that contract anyways, and he's their captain, so it'd be kind of hard to do that to him. They have a couple decent defensive prospects. They have Ryan Hartman as well. McCoshen might not be bad. He's a defensive defenseman. We already have one of those in the A, so not sure that's the best bet. But, I mean, Ryan Hartman's just a two-way forward. He'd be okay for the bottom six, I suppose, but I'm not 100% sure here. I think I'm going to go with McCoshen just because of potential. Okay, the Habs now. So Thomas Tatar is the one that's going to be protected, and that means that Gustafsson and Deneau are available, as well as Josh Anderson, but that contract is horrific for his overall in this game. Not sure why he isn't higher, because honestly, he's looked really good for the Habs. I'm not sure they have any prospects or anything like that. Charles Hudon is basically the closest thing to that, and he's a sniper. So Deneau would be a really good third-line center, or maybe even a first-line center if our team's not that good. I believe he is a UFA, but I'm willing to take a gamble on him, I think. He's a good enough player, and he seems to fit into our chemistry system, so I think I'm going to go with that. On to the Nashville Predators now. We got Granlund, and I believe Granlund would be the one protected. Oh, no, it's UC Taro. So Granlund is available. That being said, he's a UFA, but I'm not sure it would matter. He fits into the second forward line, which would be great, and as a playmaker. So yeah, we're definitely interested in him if we don't find anything else that is. But it does not look like Nashville has that many good players, and with UC Saros being protected, who would be our guy otherwise. Oh, they do have Ingram though as well. Ingram might be a good NHL backup, but I think Granlund's a better piece for us right now, and we can afford to pay him this year, so we're going to go with him. On to the Devils now. So they got Zacha, would be a great addition. So Murray's going to be the one that's protected. They have Dell available as well, but I think Zacha's a pretty obvious option here. He's already 81 overall at 23. He's got the low top 6, and I believe he's a power forward, so it's great for Chem. He might even fit into the first line this year, so we're going to definitely go with him here. On to the Islanders, and it looks like Beauvillier is going to be the one that protected, so I'm not sure that we have much options here, but they do have Josh Hosang, and I think we're going to go with him just based on potential. And also, he has a lot of offensive skill, so he could fit into the lineup in year 1. The New York Rangers now. Kincaid is available. Scheidl's going to be the one protected, and they do not have that many good players, honestly, so we might just be taking some sort of okay player. Kincaid would not be the worst backup goalie. He's 81 overall. It's pretty decent. Or he could just be used as a trade piece. I mean, his salary is nothing crazy, which is a bonus. And yeah, we really don't have any other options here. So I think we're definitely going with Keith Kincaid. The Ottawa Senators now. Connor Brown is currently the one. Oh, well, I guess there's two. I'm actually not sure which one they'd actually protect because Murray's contract's not fantastic. I think they'd probably protect Brown over Murray at this point. Murray would be a good guy to get rid of, so I don't think we're going to go for Murray because of his contract again. I think that's not really something I'm looking for. So to say they protect Connor Brown is pretty fair, and Nick Paul would be okay. He might be a good fourth liner. He's a power forward, which I like. They're very good in this game, as far as chemistry goes anyways. And he's 25, so I think we're going to go with him. On to the Flyers. So they have JVR up there, but that means we do have a lot to choose from here. Lawton might not be a bad pick, but I think Oscar Lindblom is definitely the way to go here. He's got a medium top 6 forward. He's a two-way forward, which is not great, but he fits in the penalty kill, and he's a second line forward. I think that's a huge pickup for us. The Pittsburgh Penguins. So Zucker is going to be the one that's protected, but that does mean that Tristan Jarry is available, and I think it's almost a no-brainer that we go after him as a starting goalie here. The San Jose Sharks. Now, San Jose will protect Vlasic, I believe, which honestly is not that good for them, but them's the rules. Ryan Donato is available. So is Dylan Gambrell. I'm not really sure which one I'd prefer. I know Donato's slightly better, but he's also a year older. So I think Gambrell's probably the play here. The St. Louis Blues. Now, they'll protect, I assume it's Schwartz. Yes, sir. So Schwartz is protected. They do have Ville Husso, but he's not that fantastic. Doesn't have a lot of potential left. Zach Sanford would honestly be a huge acquisition, but I think Vince Dunn's going to be the move here. Two-way defender. Obviously a very good player, so I think we're definitely going to go with him. The Tampa Bay Lightning. Now, Sorelli is going to be the one that's protected, so we will take Cal Foote. Almost certainly. 79 overall, 21 years of age. Almost a no-brainer. The Toronto Maple Leafs, and now they're going to protect Freddie Anderson. Yeah, definitely. But that does leave Hyman open. Not necessarily that we're going to get him. TJ Brody might not be a bad option just because of his age and overall, but Dermott's also a pick that we could get. There's a lot of the good defensemen on this team. We could also go after Dennis Malgin, who's a playmaker. He might fit well into the top 6 there, or even like the third line. Got a lot of potential left too, which is kind of why I'm eyeing him. Dermott's also looking very good. Yeah, this is actually a little bit tough for me. I think we go for Malgin here, honestly, just because of a lack of forwards in the expansion draft, and Dermott's a two-way defender. Not that it really puts a damper on him, but I think Malgin is the best player for our team. On to the Canucks now. It is Pearson that will be protected. No, it's Holtby. So Pearson's available. Not that I really want him. Do the Canucks have anyone that's really of note? We could go after Hamonic just as a guy for the NHL, but I think we already have enough. I think Madison Bowie would be a solid choice. That or Jace Hawryluk, but I'm leaning towards Madison Bowie. He's usually an AHL guy. He's got an extension, so I'm going to go with him. The Washington Capitals. So they got Schultz, but they also got Lundqvist, but they'll protect Schultz, of course, because of the age. They do have Daniel Sprong, and I think that's the guy we're going to go after. He's got some really good offensive stats. Yeah, we're definitely going to go with Sprong here. Our last pick in the draft, the Winnipeg Jets. I'm not sure who we're going to take here. Appleton looks all right. So does, well, I guess Greet's not as good. Comrie's all right as well, but I think Mason Appleton's the play here. The two-way forward, top 6 potential. We'll take that almost any day of the week. He'll round out the bottom 6. So I believe we have our team here. Let me just make sure we got enough players in every position. Yeah, we have Gardner. So I was just making sure we had two two-way defensemen for the NHL, just to make sure we had that rounded out. So yeah, this is the first year Quebec Nordiques roster out of the expansion draft. Bettman made it a little bit tough on us. We couldn't get any spectacular players, but I think we have a pretty solid roster here to start off, and definitely a lot of good potential guys. So I'm going to avoid the draft interviews. They're kind of useless. Expansion draft is behind us. Pro scouts calling, blah, blah, blah. I'm not really going to make any trades here. It's a bit cheesy, I think, to trade away the picks this year. So yeah, we're going to go into it. So we do have the second overall pick. We'll take a look at the draft class real quick just to know who we're taking. We just missed out on Eugene Yell, which is unfortunate, but we're going to get a solid player either way. And I think we're definitely going to take Stanislav Koltsov. It's really unfortunate we didn't get Yell, but he also looks like he might be a two-way forward, which doesn't really mesh as well into the top six as a sniper does, but obviously we don't know for sure yet, just because he's an unknown quantity really. But yeah, I think we're definitely going to take Koltsov. Let's just simulate the Predators pick here and get that done. So Yelly, oh, he is a sniper too. Wow. That guy is going to be insane. Number 97 too. Next McDavid, I'm telling you. All right, so Koltsov, please be at least an offensive player. All right, so I'll take the playmaker. Obviously, this is not as good as the sniper, but we take those any day of the week, and that's going to be a great player to add. Elliott is a defensive defenseman, and they actually didn't take the other elite. I guess they will now, but yeah, I don't know what that pick was, Ottawa. That's a bit weird. Anyways, we're going to simulate to the next pick. Let's see if we know where anyone is here. I'm assuming it's pretty much just a mishmash. Yeah, so we really don't have any scouting done here. Yeah, you know, it's pretty much a complete crapshoot. So they're telling us to pick Samuel Pratt, Mark Howe. Vermistrov looks a little bit better, but Howe might be the play as a defenseman. We just picked a forward, so it might be natural to pick a defenseman next. Yeah, we don't. I was making sure we didn't have a gem or bust scouted out. I'm actually not sure here. We'll go with what the game tells us. Samuel Pratt. Welcome to Quebec. He's a top six. That's not the worst. Oh, but Vermistrov was the low top six. Okay. Made a little bit of a mistake there, but that's okay. We don't make mistakes, just happy accidents. What are the kind of players being taken here? Okay, so some seventh defenseman, which I'm not too fond of. I might be safe and take Ramberg here, just because he's a guaranteed top six, which I prefer to uncertainty here. So we'll go with that. Not a bad pick. We'll stick to trying to get guys that we kind of know who they are. That being said, Tersambayev's catching my attention just because he's a user-generated player, which has a better potential, or any potential at all, really, to be good. Same with Prohorkin, but Tersambayev's got the medium elite. For Barkland's probably nothing special, so... yeah, I think what we're going to do is pick Tersambayev here and just hope he turns out. Oh, and there you go, baby. A low elite Tersambayev in the 4th round. Awesome pick for us there. On to the 5th round now, and Bianconi is the guy that's up next. Not that I really trust that at all. They do have Sergei Smirnov, which seems okay. We don't have a goalie prospect yet in this draft, so you know what? We're going to go round it out. We got to spread out our options here. We're going to pick Smirnov. Oh, medium backup. Oh, well. We got a good pick last round. I assume it's not that bad if we mess up one or two here and there. So Gary Gibers, I don't even know how to say that. Gisbers, I guess. He's a left wing 6'4". He's a big boy, but he's got medium top 6 scouted. Obviously, I think he's probably just going to be a bottom 6, but might as well check it out. Yeah, okay. But at least it's not an AHL player, which seems to be the case around here. Mika Heikkila, not looking too bad. I think we're going to go with him, honestly. That's a decent option here. Bottom 6. All right, honestly, again, it's better than an AHL player. As long as we're not getting AHL players, I'm totally okay with it. So that's the end of the first draft. We got a couple good players, Tersambayev and Koltsov, obviously the two that are going to be having the most impact on the team. I think that was a pretty successful draft. We got a really good player for our franchise, and hopefully we can build around him in the future. So it looks like Phil Deneau is not very happy signing a contract, so we're going to give him a 1 year. We'll give him $6 million. Obviously, we can afford to give some guys a little bit more money this year just because of the situation of the team. Obviously, we're not looking to contend out of the gate necessarily, just given our circumstance. So as far as Granlund goes, I can give him like 4.6 for 3 years. I think that's honestly fair. You know, we're getting a little bit of term, but I think he's going to be a good top 6 player for us. He's obviously the playmaker, and I think he fits really well into that top 6. Vince Dunn here. Let's hope to get him on a good deal if we can. Okay, so that's his RFA expiry status. I'm willing to give him 3.5 for 3 years. I think that's a pretty fair deal. Andres Kasha. I always forget how to pronounce this guy's name. So, you know, 1 or 2 year deal. He retains RFA status, so we can keep his rights and then sign him from there. We could go longer, but I think 2 years at 3.5 is pretty fair, and it gives us kind of a projection of where he's going to be once he's finished growing. So I think that's what we're going to do on that one. As far as Dickinson goes, he wants a bit of money. Yeah, we can afford to pay you the 2 years. I'll just give you $2 million flat. And I mean, as long as the guys want to be on the team, we can get them a little bit less than they're asking for. So Gaudet, let's go like, yeah, 16's fine. I'm not too picky. For 3 years at an 80 overall, that's pretty solid. Especially a guy that can grow still. As far as Malgin goes, he looks like he wants a little bit of money. But I'm mostly okay doing, because I think he can definitely grow in this time period. And he'll be an RFA at the expiry. I think that it's worth it for us to give him a little bit of term just in return for some safety. So 15.5 for, was that 4 years? Jeez, I might have offered him one too many, but that's okay. As long as he's an RFA at the end of it, that's kind of what we're aiming for. Cal Foot, we're going to give you 2 years. Just try to give you the 1.5 or 1.6 or 1.55. We'll give you right down the middle. We're going to quickly qualify Gamble just to make sure I don't lose him. As far as Ernie goes, give him 1.5. Stenland, there we go. 2 years, that's fine. As long as the guys don't want like super long contracts or super big money, I'm pretty much okay with paying them whatever. Hosang's good. Kylington does not want to come back, but I mean, I guess we'll just 1 year him then, just so we can get him at a cheaper discount next year, hopefully. As far as Juleson goes, we'll just give you Leakman, it's fine. Give him the caution. And we're not going to sign any of our draftees just because I don't want to have any of them burn a year of their contract. That would not be so good. We can probably just sign Gamrel here too. It's usually not a big deal. Here, we'll give you like 1.8 for 1 year, assuming you'll sign that. And in net, we got Hill and Werner. So Hill, give you like, yeah, 1.2 for 2 years. We get him to 26. That's honestly pretty solid. Then we get Werner here. We'll just go 3 with him. As a fringe starter, that's all right. And we get him to 26. So we know what his potential is once we're signing him on his big boy contract. Kind of helps him out too, just so he's got the right kind of projection on his contract. So Andres Kasha signs, Kylington signs, Gaudet signs, Stenland signs, Dickinson signs, Deneau signs, Granlund signs, Hill signs, Dunn signs, Gambrel signs, Foot signs, Ernie signs, Gilson, Werner, McCaution, Hosang. Malgin says no. So we're just going to have to quickly get Malgin back on board here. And that should be it for the free agency period, or for the re-sign period, rather. So yeah, I'm going to try the 3 years, and I'll go like 1.45. I'll just give him exactly what he wants. That's fine with me. Hopefully he accepts this. There we go. All right, so we got all our guys, and we are ready to go to free agency now. So I'm not really looking for anything too big. Let's take a look at our contracts real quick just to make sure we aren't missing anyone. So as far as forwards goes, we got Deneau, Granlund, Kasha, Lindblom, Zaka. So I think first line would be like something like Granlund, Kasha, Zaka, or Deneau, Lindblom, and someone else. So we might need a top 6 forward. That said, we could use some guy like Sprong and just kind of pull him up, because as a sniper who has pretty decent offensive stats, I think he can grow quite well up there. We just got a lot of players, really. A lot of decent potentials here. I assume we're going to have a lot of guys that are just kind of sitting in the bottom 6, just because we have a lot of two-way forwards, and that's typically what that's for. Defensive-wise, I don't think we need any additions here, really, no. So we got a pretty rounded top 6 there, and then we got Bowie, Juleson, McCaution in the minors. So we also need to sign some AHL guys, but actually we could probably do that right now. I don't think that would be too much trouble. Yeah, so Gardner and Dunn will be a pair, Bear and Manson will be a pair, and then Foot and Kylington, I suppose. It's too bad we don't have 2 defensive defensemen, but that's what can you do when you got a couple younger guys in here. Or we could trade Gardner for a defensive defenseman, but I don't think that's really necessary right now. Alrighty, so sign free agents. Let's get this underway. So holy, a lot of big names on the free agent board. Dustin Bufflin's available. So we're kind of looking for either a top 6 forward or just to sign some AHL guys probably for the next season. Thomas Tatar would not be that bad. Gustafson's on the board, but not necessarily looking for a guy like him. Hjalmarsson's okay. He's a bit old though, so I'm not sure we'd go after him. Is there any potential here? Oh, okay. Well, obviously, but yeah, no, nothing crazy. Was Schlappick not even? I don't think he's an RFA, is he? Oh, he is. Wait, is he? No, he's UFA. Okay. I think I've seen him before in franchise mode, so just making sure. I'm just gonna offer him. Oh, wait. Oh, okay. I didn't know I could actually offer him that much just to get him. I mean, we might as well get a prospect. We'll give him 1.1 mil for 1 year on a one-way deal. Kind of cheesy, but at least we get the guy. No notable goalies anyways. Might Sogard, actually. Never mind. So he wants 2 years. Oh, okay. So it's the same deal for him. Yeah, I'll just give him like a 1.2 for 1 year, just to make sure we get him. I assume we will anyways, but hey, get some free prospects like that. Definitely not going to say no. So as far as defensemen go, we're probably going to sign some depth guys, just for the minor leagues, just for next season. So we have some guys to fill the roles there. Anyone who's a depth defenseman, obviously. So we'll just go for a bunch of like 77, 76s. Kind of fill out that lineup in the A. Obviously, it's nothing spectacular we're looking for. Just guys that'll fill the roles. So 1 year, 1 mil is fine. Anything like that is an okay deal for us. Honka's an RFA, but I mean, I don't think we're really going to get much out of him. I gotta make sure these guys aren't RFAs. Dahlstrom might be okay. Is there any more offensive defensemen? Because I know we have, I think, 2 defensive defensemen and then 1 two-way defenseman. So we'll need a two-way. Connaughton, there you go. So, all right, so there's 3 guys. And then we'll get like an extra depth guy who's like 75 or something like that. Reinke, are you an RFA? You are, okay. So I'm gonna look for like a two-way. Manning, he's two-way, he plays both positions, and so he can fit in as a depth guy. And we also should look for an NHL depth defenseman, actually. I'm just kind of realizing. So we can get like a 79, hopefully. Someone that can play both sides ideally and is two-way, just so they fit in anywhere, really. Australia's looking for a little bit much money for what I want. Yeah, not a lot of them play both sides, though, so I guess that's kind of the valuable part in them. We could go after, like, a Stone, but I think that's a bit too good. I think Osterley's okay. We'll just have to dish out a little bit more money than I'm comfortable with, so... Oh, okay. Never mind. He doesn't want as much for 1 year contract. We'll give him, like, 1.6 just to make sure we get him, and then we can worry about re-signing him or not re-signing him next year. All right, so that's it for defensemen, really. And then as far as forwards go, I'm sure we'll need some AHL forwards. It's too bad you can't filter in these free agent menus, just so it would be way easier to find guys. I think Peary, we could probably get him at, yeah. And anyone that can fill an AHL role, I can pretty much just sign here. Bennett, okay, he's like sniper. I'm looking for a lot of two-way guys and stuff like that because I want to fill out the bottom 6. I know we got some forwards already. Cody Marody, you know, why not? He's alright enough, and assuming no other team approaches him, we got him for next to nothing. Del Cole, you know what, honestly, even though he's a sniper, I'm willing to... Oh, I accidentally gave him 2 years there, but he's a younger guy, so that's more than okay. Lizotte, depth forward, sure thing, buddy. Pretty much anyone goes here, as long as they're okay. Sorella, there you go. Is he an RFA? He's not. But the team does want him, so we're going to have to probably give up a little bit more to get him. That's all right, though. I'm not opposed to paying money, obviously. We got lots of it this year, and we might even have more next year if we unload some guys at the deadline or something like that. Power forward, that'd be honestly a very good ad. Low top 9, but that's fine. Any of these guys are all right as long as they're not looking for too much money. Agazino, decent depth guy. There you go. You can get Bork as well. Yeah. All right, so I think that should probably be enough. We'll simulate forward here and make sure we got everyone. Ready? We got Sogard. Okay, Marody decided to go somewhere else. Sorella, Clendenning. Okay, Clendenning says no. Okay, just make sure we got as many people as we can. We do need to go back and quickly... Was that an AHL guy we were looking to sign? Clendenning. I think he's an offensive defenseman. He's still here? I hope so. Did he get picked up? No, he's there. Okay. It says he's interested in the two-way, but I guess he's not, so let's give him 0.95 for 1 year. I'll go with me. I'll find a dandy. And then we should get him, and we should be all set. Also, we should probably hire some scouts because I know that's typically not very good. So we'll be able to rearrange the scouting next year once we get into the season. And I can do that on my own time because obviously I don't want to bore you guys with that stuff. So there it looks like we're getting all those guys. We got Clendenning. Perfect. Just making sure we got all our scouts here. Alrighty. So that looks to be about it. And I think we are all good to sim to next season. So I will see you guys there. Alrighty, so we are here, and the offseason is over. Back to training camp. So we got to get our lines together here. I got to just quickly sort the roster. Yeah, I'll get this done and show you guys once I'm finished. Alrighty, so we have the lines for this season. It took me a while, but I got a really good chemistry base going, so here it is. So Ernie, Deneau, and Kasha on the first line there, followed by Lemieux, Granlund, and Sprong. Then Mulligan, Zaka, and Lindblom, followed by the fourth line of Gambrel, Gaudette, and Appleton. Originally, Gambrel wasn't actually in this lineup, but he fits really well into the scheme for some reason, so I'm definitely going to include him in there over Nick Paul. And then on defense, we got Gardner and Bear as the top pair. It's a bit weird, but basically, defensive defensemen don't really fit well on our top pair, so that's why Gardner's up there. Seems like two-ways are the preferred type, or at least that would seem so, with Foot as well being a plus up there. So then the special teams, on the power play, we got Lindblom, Granlund, Ernie with Bear and Kasha on the defense. Then Mulligan, Zaka, Lemieux with Kylington and Sprawn. So we have 2 +3s on the power play, which is fantastic. Then on the 4-man, obviously we got +1s, not too important, but yeah, managed to get 2 +1s in there. On the PK, we got 1 +1 and then just a 0, which is fine. The PK is usually the weak point, so that's good. And then on the 3-man, we got 1 -1 and followed by a 0 because Gambrel fits into the scheme so well. So yeah, that's the basic lines anyways. And in the net, we got Jari and Hill. And scratch, we got Dickinson, Osterley, and Nick Paul. So those are going to be the lines for this year. And we will set the captains now. So I'm thinking at this point we should not have a captain. Manson, no. So yeah, I think we're going to have Deneau as an assistant. That makes sense. And then I'm wondering if it should be Kasha or it could be Granlund as well. Or we could go Jake Gardner, actually. I think that's what we're going to do. Jake Gardner is the third captain. So I have a few experienced guys on this team, and hopefully they can lead this year. Obviously, our skill level isn't really there. But yeah, I think this is the team we have going into the season. Let me know what you guys think. Should we make a move before the season starts to acquire anyone? If there's anyone you want me to take a look at, I certainly will. And yeah, I'm really excited to get this series back underway, guys. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please drop a like, subscribe. I'll see you next time. Peace out, everyone.